Well, good morning, all of you. Oh, my goodness, it has been such a long time that I've done this, but usually Sheba Talks, it has its seasons, its moments, and its time. And so from the last season, we delve into some pretty hefty topics, right? And then I usually just take a break. My focus shifts. I pretty much take my time to refill because we've learned, we know you can't, because we know that you can't give from an empty vessel, right? And if you're anything like me, when you do give, you give it your all. And so, yes, but we're back, and I just want to thank every person who just follows the movement, who follows the ministry, who follows the brand. Trust me, you are absolutely, positively appreciated. Before we jump in, I do want to let you know that my voice, coincidentally enough, I'm recovering from a lost voice, so it might sound a little interesting. But you'll hear what I have to say. You'll hear the message, and that's what's most important, okay? Also, I want to just kind of lay the foundation for how Sheba Talk is going to go for this season. I'm going to give you about 15 minutes to start you off right every Tuesday at 7 o'clock. As you know, a lot of my priorities, my family structure, my family dynamic has shifted. And I'm so grateful to God for that. And so I try my very best to do everything that I know God wants me to do within the time frame that I have the ability to do it, with his strength, with his grace. I mean, he really empowers me. And so I'm grateful for that as well. So time is ticking, and let's jump in. So this morning, every Sheba Talk is inspired by a moment with God. Most times it's very unintentional. It's not planned. It's just me being me, going about my day, and I just have a moment like boom, and then it hits me, and I'm like, yes, this is what I need to share with the other Sheba women, right, or the people who follow the tribe, the community that we are building. And so I don't even remember what I was doing, but I know I was doing something here in my apartment. And boom, I remember now. I was just reflecting, right? And if you're anything like me, I reflect quite often, thinking. And I just had a moment reflecting on some of my where I am in this present moment, some of my decisions, some of my choices, so forth and so on. And then these words came to me, and when I tell you, it was what I needed to hear. And the words were, people don't learn from perfect people. Oh, my goodness. I'm going to say it again because, I like to repeat myself a bit, right? The words were, people do not learn from perfect people. And I sat with this for a moment, and it just, I was able to take a deep breath, and I said, you know what? I have what there's labels for everything, and I don't really, subject myself to any label outside of what, God has said and who I am. But type A personality. Things have to be in place. I mean, it's almost like this sense of perfection. And so I was having that moment, and I know many of you who are listening, you have those moments, and it's okay. It's safe. I'm so secure in who I am that it's okay for me to say that. And so I was able to take a deep breath, and I was like, okay, Sheba, you're still on the right track. And then I began to reflect and think, and I thought these thoughts that I'm going to share with you. And some of them are, your mistakes gives you permission to speak. Your mistakes, your shortcomings, the things that you were even unaware of, your growth process, right? It gives you credibility. It legitimizes your life. And I was like, whoa, oh my goodness, this is beautiful. This is great. This is reassuring. And I'm so grateful for that. And I'm hoping that you too are grateful. So I'm speaking to you, every woman and every man. It's okay for you to acknowledge your mistakes. It's okay for you to acknowledge your past, your mishaps, things that you were unaware of, things that you just simply did not know. But there was an outcome. But someone was hurt. But you made a mistake, and that's okay. Why? Because people do not learn from perfect people. People do not learn from people who never made mistakes in business. People do not learn from people who never made mistakes in ministry, in church, in building something. People do not learn from people who give this facade that their relationship, their marriage, their commitment relationships or partnerships, everything is wonderful. The grass is always green. The air is always fresh. People do not learn from perfect people, perfect things, perfect situations. They don't learn from that. And you know what's even more wonderful about this is that God knew that even way back before the world existed. So he created imperfect people. Woo! Oh my goodness. So what am I empowering you to do this morning? Right? If you hold any position, if you have any influence over others, if you serve as a coach, a mentor, listen, I want to empower you to position yourself as a servant to others, as one who they can model their life, who they can glean from, who they can learn from, who they can, soak things up as if they were a sponge. Why? Because people do not learn from perfect people. You have something to offer. You have something to share. You have something to give to someone else that money cannot buy. However, I want to also warn you. I want to also empower you in this way. The only thing that could mess this up is when your motives aren't right. Now, if you've experienced interesting people, the motive. Whether you break down in the middle of nowhere. Why do you do what you do? Right? What is the motive? When your motive is right, to see others succeed, to see others be lifted up, to see others live their best lives, as we say, you got to check your motive. Because you can be imperfect with the wrong motive, and it can cause damage to others. And we don't want that. So as I close, as I wrap this thing up, people do not learn from perfect people. Continue to grow, to continue to desire to be better, continue to strive for excellence, continue to utilize every gift, every talent, every ability that's been given to you. Play your cards and play them well. Your life is credible to others. It's legitimate to others. Your mistakes give you permission to speak. And as I said before, people do not learn from perfect people. I'm Sheba. I'm hoping that you've enjoyed the Sheba Talk. I'm also hoping that you will join me next Tuesday for another episode. Something quick, a quick empowerment quickie, as I say, to get you started this morning, to be motivated, to be empowered, to make today a great day. And if you're not following me on social media, please follow me on Facebook, Sheba Empowers, Instagram, Sheba with 2 A's, Empowers. This is where you can connect with me, find out what is going on, what is she doing, what is she saying. And your life, I guarantee, will not be the same. Until next week, peace.